Hi, welcome back to Conversion Conversations. This is Cameron, and today I am taking a look at what is probably my favorite Siege figure, Transformers War for Cybertron Siege Shockwave. And I fucking love this alt mode. He is this like crazy space battleship. I don't think anyone else really reads this series besides me, but there's a series called The Lost Fleet that takes a really good like physics approached realistic take on space battles, and this is kind of what I imagine their cruisers to be, except they wouldn't have this sort of control tower out here. It'd be embedded in the bulk of the spaceship. But looking at this, like, I know people were kind of down on this figure. I love it. I love that he's got these thrusters that can turn left and right, so that, you know, if he wants to turn left, he can do that. If he wants to turn right, he can do that. That makes me ridiculously happy. I love all his front-facing weaponry. He's got, you know, cannons here. He's got smaller cannons here. He's got these guns here that can point down if you're like orbiting a planet and you need to do like some sort of planetary bombardment. He's got his crazy shockwave eye right here that I like a lot. He's got his big old shockwave, you know, front cannons or something there. This makes me so very happy. And as you can see in the background, I've got all my different shockwaves. In my personal like head canon, my fanon, I imagine Shockwave doing the logical thing in his quest for efficiency and taking his intelligence and dispersing it amongst a bunch of different Shockwave bodies. So like, you know, here's a different spaceship Shockwave and they can float together, and here's another one and it's like a smaller destroyer type spaceship and it can like guard the mothership Shockwave, which is just enormous. And then he's got like tanks, you know, he's got his different like tank modes. He's got a flying alt mode for like other stuff. Like I am ridiculously happy with this thing, and I think I might be one of the only ones. I think most people weren't that happy with this figure, but man, I probably have been gushing about this for like 3 minutes now. let's move on. So yeah, so in his spaceship mode, in his big like his leader class spaceship mode, really there's not a ton of articulation besides these cannons down here, but he does like he's a leader class weaponizer in my opinion. He armors up really well, and all the armor bits can do all sorts of different things that we can get into. We can take this hose off. This is probably the only complaint I have. I kind of wish the hose wasn't even there, because like if this is some sort of giant battleship, like this doesn't make sense. But besides that, like I'm pretty happy. So we can take the hose off. We can take off this front piece by unclipping it from the sides here. Take that off. That's one armor piece. And then we can come in on the back and take off these wing pod things. Plug this in. And you've got this kind of smaller spaceship mode, which is nice of them to include. I don't think I'm going to use it all that much. You can flip these up and pretend you've got a little gun shockwave, although I still think the masterpiece gun mode is, you know, if you want G1 shockwave, get the masterpiece. And he's back there. He's amazing. This guy's terrific. I don't see any reason if you're looking for a G1 shockwave to get this guy over that guy. I love this because he's not the G1 shockwave. And yeah, if you want to compare, you know, this is like a little smaller than a Voyager. Here's Voyager tank shockwave. You can kind of see where they sit together. I think with all the other bits, he's a lot more comfortable. Here's another Voyager or Ultra shockwave, you know, in alt mode. Instead, we can go ahead and transform him. So his transformation is really simple. You start out, you have his tower here. You can collapse those side wings like I did, and then you unplug the tower from the base here. You come and split the legs right here. And then inside each leg, it's a double hinge. You take the leg and move it away from the body and then collapse the hinge. It's kind of like a variation on the aerial bot transformation. Same thing on the other side. Collapse this down and in, and it covers up the leg all nice. Come in up top. I think we want to fold, unplug that hose right there. And then we can open this back up, take the arms out of the way, collapse the backpack back down on a triple hinge. That closes up all nice. Plug this hose into his gun arm, and then come in and you open the chest to reveal the head. And there is a very nice looking Voyager Shockwave. Again, I think if this is all you wanted, I know a lot of people were like, why couldn't I get this but bigger? I feel like that's what that is. That's masterpiece Shockwave right here, you know. And you can get this online for like 60-ish bucks now, not much more than what you paid for the leader. So I think if that's what you're looking for, this is a fantastic toy that I am super happy with. But he still, you know, he looks great. Let me get his other weaponizer bits out of the way. If I'm comparing him in any sort of size comparison to another Siege figure, he is very much a Voyager. You know, there's Shockwave next to Megatron. They look terrific together. And he is super posable. I'm really happy with that part of it. His eye can tilt, and he can look around and up and down and all sorts of stuff. If you want to cheat a little bit, you can kind of use a little bit of that platform maybe to get him hunching his shoulders up or down. His shoulders themselves, like because of transformation, they go way, way up, which is nice. They do the full 360, just got to watch out for the hose, but they do the full 360 there on both sides. They go in and out. That's lovely. You got a 90-degree bicep swivel. You've got, 360-degree bicep swivel. You've got a little bit more than 90-degree on a curl. That's like a very natural arm curl to me. That looks terrific. The wrists themselves, they swivel, which is nice. In case you wanted to give him any weapons or anything, he can hold those no problem. And then the knees, the hips are perfectly ratcheted. They go all the way back and all the way forward. Oh, I think I had his waist. Oh no, I just had his knees backwards the entire time. There we go. Yeah, then the hips go all the way forward and back. Lovely. Full Van Damme, no problem there with that sort of split action. The knees themselves are ratcheted and they go the full 90. He's got a thigh swivel and he's got lovely, lovely ankle tilts. So this is, in my mind, if all you're picking up is for this guy, again, you can get the masterpiece. But if you want to have a little Voyager Shockwave with some upgraded bits, this is a highly posable, really nice looking Voyager Shockwave that can do all the classic Shockwave stuff, you know, it's just a lovely toy. I am really happy with this guy. And then of course he does come with all of these extra bits, which in my mind, okay, so Voyagers right now, this is like a $30 toy. And then this is equivalent to Transformers, you know, cog or a 6-gun. Like, it's a bunch of different parts that you can upgrade all sorts of different figures with. Not even necessarily Shockwave. We could get Megatron back in here, and Megatron can take these arm cannons, no problem. Let's say he ripped Shockwave apart, and for some reason, I mean, Shockwave, in my mind, besides the Marvel comics, he's always been loyal to Megatron to some extent. But yeah, so Megatron can armor up with all sorts of craziness however you want. This piece is a little harder to figure out where you want to go with it, but it does have plenty of swivels and can do all sorts of stuff. Like, this could be maybe a wing pack or some sort of weird can I actually get you there without running into the sword? There we go. Some sort of weird bow thingy. But yeah, that's like, you know, that's a bunch of different upgrade parts, which is the part of the play pattern that I've enjoyed so much. I really, really dig that. Get all this off him. And besides that, I mean, the upgrades themselves work great on Shockwave. So you take these wing pods, you can fold this wing part up, and you can give him big old cannon skating shoes, snowshoe type deals. which I like, and it works great with the ankle tilt. And then these I love. I love the idea of Shockwave, like, if this is Cybertron during the war, he's like, I want to go full war mode. There's clips inside that kind of just slide right onto where you want to go with this. There we go. So he's just, you know, bringing out all the guns, all the big stuff. Same thing here. There's that peg there that can slide right onto here. I would have loved for like different weapons even. Like it wasn't always just the gun. Maybe it had like a buzzsaw on one hand and then like a taser on another hand, or like some sort of weird claw thing. That would have been really cool too. And then this piece, I think this traditionally just sits over the back, but I think I'm going to try it up. I gotta pull this little part out and then see if I can, there we go. Get this on here, get these turn around with some additional guns, and it's like a weird wing pack. I know that's not the official configuration, but that is how I like my Shockwave. And he is a weird mess, but I love the idea that he's like experimenting with himself. He's, you know, being the mad scientist that we all knew that he was deep down inside. I am super happy with that. And it does give him, I know it's not as big as Leaders of Old, but in my mind, you know, it gives him a good amount of bulk that I really like that. But yeah, like in my head with this weird like Shockwave fleet idea, he is such a cool little mothership. I dig him. I think that's all I've got to say. Like I've got nothing but love for this guy. Even the battle damage, like here, it kind of just looks like poorly applied brushstrokes of dark gray paint. I don't even know if you can really make that out on camera, but like to me that looks fine. Same thing with on the boots. There's like that dumb black paint pattern. I don't care all that much. He is, maybe it's just because I'm a sucker for Shockwave, as you can see here. He's the first character that I broke my one toy per character rule on, because I was like, well, he could like, you know, scientifically take his AI and then spread it among a bunch of different robot bodies and create a Shockwave fleet. And yeah, that makes sense. And that's how I justify buying almost every Shockwave toy. My only complaint, and this is, well, I've had a couple minor quibbles. This is not anyone's real fault. It's not a bad decision. I would have preferred a different color scheme. Not that I don't like the purple and the gray and everything. I like that very iconic Shockwave. What I really, really want is, was it Energon or Cybertron? Shock Blast, or was it Quakewave 6-gun? The green and orange. So like this is Shockwave G1 colors. Here we've got Shockwave Action Master colors, which I like that there's like a little distinction between them. Terrific little toy, by the way. And yes, he can hold himself. Maybe I'll show that off at the end. But like there's that green and pink and purple Shockwave color that I really like. I just want to be able to get a Shockwave of those colors at some point. But maybe the next time they do Shockwave, he'll have like that weird tank satellite mode. And that's me rambling on now. So I'm going to call it here. I guess I'll come back in a second with everyone transformed so you can see all the different Shockwaves together. And here we've got the Shock Fleet all in bot mode. And again, like, ooh. Is he a little small for, in terms of height, for a leader class figure? Yes. But I love the idea that they went nuts with Shockwave in all his glory. I'm really happy with the way he looks with everyone else. Everyone's got, you know, their own little personal flair. Like, obviously we've got, ooh, if I can reach it, we've got G1 Masterpiece Shockwave holding it down in the back. And again, like I said, if G1 Shockwave is what you want, like, why not get this guy? He's incredible. Especially because, like, that mold, I mean, it's knockoffs, but that mold is going for, like, not much above leader price on eBay right now. And then we've got Fall of Cybertron's Shockwave, or War for Cybertron Shockwave, Transformers Prime Shockwave, Siege Shockwave with his crazy arms. I love that so much. Little Action Master Shockwave that turns into a gun for combiners. This was Cyber Battalion Shockwave, which is pretty much G1, just he turns into a wing and he doesn't have knees. And then Cyberverse Shockwave, just all the Shockwaves I could ever want. And that's not true. I could always want more Shockwaves. And yeah, that's it. And then I guess that's all I got. I know I ranted and rambled for a little while extra on this one. But that's it. Oh yeah, let me show a picture of the Shock Fleet in action with like the mothership and everything. Yeah, isn't that cool? That's pretty cool. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening to me on this one. And let me know what you thought. I know this was not everyone's favorite Shockwave, but he's a lovely figure. I am super happy with his mode. All his different stuff that he can do. I've been fiddling and faddling with him all the time. All right, that's it. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and have a great day, everyone. And I'll catch you guys on the next one.